Hello, farmers. It's Trevor here, and I am back for another episode on Grizzly Mountain. Being a lazy farmer this time. We still have a bunch of tree stumps, and if you watched the last episode, you'll know that we had our somewhat cheaty Brux grinder thingy, and we could pick up these tree stumps with that, but I'm not going to be too cheaty with it, and I kind of like I like the idea that you'd have to go back and grind them. Now, the in-game grinder is a bit of a pain because it's really hard to hit the sweet spot sometimes. If you've done it much, you know what I'm talking about. I found this thing as a mod. It's on the farming simulator mods, and so it's no problem just to download, I think even for like PS4 people. This one, I found a video and on this, and then they had a link to like Farming Simulator 2019, something like that. I hate going to other mod sites because you end up getting crap and ads. But anyway, this I downloaded it without any problems. I don't seem to have a virus or anything. And again, it was recommended by another YouTuber. Sorry, I forget the name. It's been a little while. But this one, anybody should be able to get in the the mods at the beginning of the thing. Just make sure you hit show all mods. And if we get in here and hit VB and lower it, it's a bit like, if you notice, like if the ground's not perfect, notice how it's like we're getting stuck. It's look, now we're going like sideways. Once we get on the grass, we should be okay. But there you go. See how it just ground up that stump, no problem. And if you have even the slightest hill, it'll be an issue too. See how it's, I don't know if these tires, when I was doing most of this before, let's just lift it up a little bit. Now we have a pretty big one here. See how it will shave. So if you get a real tall one, lift it up like this, or pretty tall, and then you can set it down on top of it. Sometimes if you go to pull it over, especially if you're using this forward, I think it's intended to be drug behind. So obviously there's a bit of a limit on what will fit, a lot of stumps the tractor might not fit over if you don't cut them too low. There's a couple. I'm sure I'm going to miss some of these. They're so spread out. And there's so many bushes. There you go. And this guy. Now, you got a lot of bushes here. And in amongst, come on. Yeah, so this wasn't giving me that many problems before. I'm wondering if it's not because I've got these skinny tires. Alright, so now that tree, like in amongst all these bushes is these trees, and sometimes they're easy to miss, and clobber yourself. Put this guy down and just back him up to him. Tree gone. So I am going to run around. Let's turn this off for a second. And I was thinking about what's the next thing to do. And there's a couple thoughts when it comes to the next thing to do. And I think the whole goal of this series will be, I think I'll end it when I get animals with all the stuff they need. I might end up with some extra farming going on in the meantime. Like, it doesn't have to just be about the animals. But I think just getting all the stuff you need for the animals is quite a bit of farming. So I don't plan on buying any, we'll do it in such a way that we won't buy any stuff. We'll put a placeable bunker down and stuff like that. I'm just looking for, I'm not making you guys seasick. But having said that, let's take a quick run over. I think what I'm going to do is, because sheep are kind of the easiest ones, I don't like chickens. The stupid eggs are just really annoying to me. And we don't really have enough money to get going. As a matter of fact, I waited to be on camera with you guys to take a look at this. Sorry, I'm changing subjects. The sawmill had a good price. I looked online for, the best pricing, and people had a recommended, if you're I don't know if this map pricing, each map can have different pricing basis, but if it hasn't been changed, and this guy had a recommendation that at 181 you would sell your wood chips. So you can see we cut up the trees in the last episode and sold about 250,000 pounds of wood chips, or liters, I guess that is, of wood chips. And we got 182. If you guys didn't know it, if you sell over on the standard settings, and if you sell over 100,000 liters in a period of time, you get the maximum price drop. So when we come back and look in a couple hours, once this updates, this price will have dropped quite a bit. So I just wanted to sell all those off because we're going to be getting more wood chips because we have more of those trees, like the oak trees, that are just a problem. So having said that, the reason I came in here was we're going to repay as much of this loan as we can. And hopefully, so now we're down to $55,000 on the loan. That'll be our top priority. But in the meantime, we can come in and cut down all of the trees using our Scorpion in this area. And hopefully we won't go over $500,000 in storage when it comes to these type trees as far as the wood chips we get. And yeah, so there's quite a few trees in here. I think that's going to get us, a rather large amount of money when it comes to getting that. And what we'll do is we'll make this, I think, a grass field. So we got this rock in the middle, which is, I guess it gives it character, right? Field should have some character. There you go. Oops, can't see anything from there anyway. So if we could make a grass field all the way down to the road down here. So that'll give us a nice, probably more than enough grass certainly more than enough grass, but I'll obviously get us the ability to get hay, and then the next thing we'll probably need, I don't know, I think sheep need straw, right? Let's go to the help. I don't know if you guys go in here much, but where's animals? Yeah. So this will tell you generally about the animals. Grass and hay. So they're going to need some hay. Well, I don't think they need both, but in any event. So no, they don't need straw. So we could get going pretty quick with them if we can get this grass field going. Let me zap back up to the tractor. So there you go. So I think I'm going to do, a lot of this off camera. And when we're ready to plow, I will come back and I'll finish taking care of the tree stumps that I can find, and eventually we'll plow this area too. So I'm hoping that by selling all those trees back there, that we're going to get enough for a nice big wide plowing tractor. And, all right, we get the idea, I think. So I will see in a couple seconds, which for me will be a matter of hours, if not, I might not even have the energy to do it all day, but we'll see what happens. So I will see you in 2 seconds, and we'll have, all the stumps removed here, I hope, besides the ones I miss, and I'll do the same thing over there, cut down all those trees and get rid of stuff, and then we'll have a little update. All right, see you guys in 2 seconds, or 4 seconds. Yep, just dropping off the last of the wood chips. If you look at the money up there in the corner, we now have $850,000. So I have spent quite a bit of time, all in one day, both in game and here, cutting wood. And just like we did earlier, I cut down most of those trees that were, I guess, the oak trees, whatever they are. And I'm tired. A little bit tired of Farm Sim at this moment, but wanted to get this episode done for you guys. And let's just stop here a minute and hop out and take a look at our finances. I didn't pay off the money we had borrowed earlier. Figured I'd do that with you guys, but if you take a look, where is 882,000 sold wood? It doesn't have wood chip separate, does it? I guess that all counts as wood. But anyway, yeah. All right, so let's repay the rest of this so that we're back down to 0. We don't get charged interest. One of the reasons I sold all of that was if we come over to here and the wood chips, the price never had dropped, so I got rid of all the wood chips we had in our little storage thing over there. And I want to come in and get ourselves a big tractor for plowing. And not sure which one is the best, but I do like having the, the ability to, we got a lot of money, so I'm not too worried. We'll go through it pretty quick. Right, we're going to spend like half of it right now, I like the Challenger. I don't know if we need, that's awful nice, and it's not that much more money. New Holland. Can we get the tracks? I want one with tracks, because I like the way they, the Fendt would have tracks, the bigger Challenger. See, I don't really need the bigger Challenger. We don't have that big a field, so let's save a little bit of money anyway. Can't say I've ever used the John Deere. How does that compare? It's got the same horsepower. It's a little bit less money. Add that to anyone. Okay. So, selectable front weight. Yeah, so why don't we put a little front weight on it? Yeah, and I would like to get over 400 horsepower. We got another option? No. Yeah, why not? We're back up to what the other one cost. Wheels. What? That's just like a wide setup, standard. We'll just go with the standard for now. There we go. It's bought. Now, I do have another mod. And it is a subsoiler, which counts as plowing and works fine for us. And I think the deal is that this non-one can't create fields, but this guy here can. Now, it's awful expensive, and create new fields. So this is a mod. Pretty sure I got this one from Mod Hub, but I'm going to go ahead and buy this as well. And the last thing we're going to want is, I think in MISC, this one's fine, except it gets drug behind, so I find that it's like sort of less accurate. Where this one is a mod of the one that they used to have in Farm Sim 17, and I like it because because it's just fixed to the tractor, you can delete the fields with it, I think, more accurately. I mean, you could do a pretty good job with this too, but this one doesn't tell you the width, so in any event, I think I'm going to go with this. It's $900. There we go. And we got a nice John Deere. That looks funny with that engine hanging out over front, doesn't it? Put this other guy in. Pick him up first. Oh, we don't have a front attacher, do we? Oh, well, we got a front attacher on that other tractor sitting there. So, the next job is lots of plowing. I'm going to kind of plow everything and then go back over quite a bit of it just so that we get grass over in the area that will be our farm, and then obviously the field, we're going to plant grass there. But also, the big reason for plowing all this would just be to get rid of all these bushes. Now, it looks like we could do it with, like we placed these down, we painted this stuff in, I think the first episode. That gets rid of them as well, but then it costs us an awful lot of money, and we don't necessarily want the whole thing concreted. Some of it will be horse pastures and stuff like that. But I thought I would take a minute. I left some of the trees up along the road. I think that looks nice. Let's make this wide. Or unfold this, I should say. And I'll show you the new horseplay. Guidance steering. So one of the things I like to do is look down the bottom left at the map. And I'm on 415. So I could probably get a little bit closer, but I'm just going to go and kind of stay on 415. 416. And back on 415. Make sure I don't hit any of these trees being on 415. 414. And I don't need to get super duper close. It's just a grass field. So what we'll do is spin around. Get on 415. There we go. I don't know if you guys can read that down the bottom. Or up, no, 450. 1,450. And with the new GPS, if I hit Control S, it brings me to this screen. I can then come over to here and we can create a new track. Now what I've found is we don't want to create two tracks or else this doesn't work as well as you would think. The first track, we'll just call this Field 1 for now. It's the first field we'll have. And I want to call it, which way are we facing? East, west. I think we're at 9 meters. Whatever. So we're going to create the track. And now, what I could do is just come in here and edit this. North-south, 9 meters. So now I'm going to switch back over to this one. The reason I did that is because it acts weird until you actually pick one. And if you only have one, I don't know. I'm getting a little bit better at it, but it's odd. So what we're going to do is come here and hit Control E. Or actually, first Control R is going to set the width. And then Control E. Control E again. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a little A right under the middle of the tractor there. And I know I'm on 1,415. So I want this to be a due north-south. Now the further I can go, the better. I'm just going to, it doesn't matter that you stay on it, it's just like a point-to-point kind of thing. So now, obviously there's some limit to how far we need to go to make this accurate. But if we go a good ways and set this B, we know that it's pretty darn close to a straight line. Oops. Drink. There you go. So we know we're pretty darn close to a straight line here. And you can see if I spin around, it drew that straight line out. So the further you can go, kind of the better, All right. If I lose power here, like getting interrupted. All right, so what am I doing? The wind is howling here tonight. Here we go. So now you can see we have these little yellow, or maybe you can't see, but we have these orange dots, and if I move forward, you can see the dots go in front of me, much like the old GPS system. Now, one of the things we're going to make sure we do is come back here to Control S, and we're going to save this track. And then I want to switch to this other track. Now, when we come back, you'll notice we don't have those lines anymore. That's because I switched tracks. Now, I want to find a place. Probably, let's go this way. We'll start down here by the creek. Head off towards the woods. I don't know if there's going to be a good spot that I can go into the woods a fair amount. I think I'll probably fold this up. And I don't have to use this tractor. I could use the other one. The horses go from tractor to tractor. It looks like I'll be able to get a good distance this way. So now, again, we're on our north-south one. So it's this gate. And again, we'll do Alt-R to set the width, and then Alt-E twice. Once I think clears it, the old one, and the next one adds the new one. Oh, I didn't know which one we're on. So we're on 1101. I'll stay on 1101. That tree. We could skip a tree or two if we have to. Actually, we'll back this one a little bit. We got a little lucky, huh? Nice to get lucky in life sometimes. Alright, I'm going to call that good enough. So we're still on 1101 down there. And I'm going to hit Alt-E. And there we go. So now we got an east-west course. Now, of course, you know, we could have other fields with other courses. And then before we forget, I'll come back over here and hit save. Come back. And there's 7.8 is the width, so we could change the name if we wanted to, but I'm not that worried about it. The big thing is north, south, east, west when it comes to this one. Alright, so now I'm going to switch back. Sorry, that's what I meant to do. I knew I was in there. Oops. So we're going to switch back to east-west. If you notice, the things are now turned perpendicular to the way we were going before. Now, since I memory of sorts, I'm going to come back over here. Go back to 1415. And that should get me past them all. I'm actually on 1415 right now. What I was going to do is, yeah, there's 1415. So you can hit Alt, page up, or page down. Move it over. So we can cheat it back over a little bit. You know, just so we kind of maximize our field. This will probably follow the contour of the road there a little bit. This ballpark. So if I hit, well, for me it's Y. I forget all the commands, but you can look them up by hitting the controls. Yeah, I'll show you. If you come here and go to controls, keyboard controls, and go down and look, this will show you the quick keys. You can control everything from those screens, but that's obviously kind of a pain. Where the heck is it? That's course play. No, it's in here somewhere. What am I missing it? Not course play. Steering guidance. Here it is. So it's these keys right in here. So Alt X, you know, we'll set it on. I have it set to, if we come to, I use a gamepad on my PC. If I come in here, I have it set to Y. So I hit the Y key. And it makes it a little nicer. All right, so let me drop that down. And I need to hit the other Y key on the keyboard to allow it to create fields. And if I try to hit B, it'll end up stopping. Well, maybe not right away. Yeah, see, it ends up stopping because it's not like a field, so you end up with different types of grass, and I think it stops for every type of grass there. There you go. So we have guidance steering going. This is the whole. This more than any other mod had me not. I really haven't played much of Farm Sim 19, and it's because we didn't have this. So yeah, I like this a lot more than what I'll call a regular plow, especially if it comes to like making these fields. And I mean, I've plowed enough with a regular plow in the game that it's I'm just looking for something that doesn't take me 3 hours to plow a field of this size. And whether this is realistic or not, again, this is another reason I called this the Lazy Farmer series. You know, maybe that's not the best name for it, but So I don't want to get too close to that rock, so we'll lift this up. And then what I'll do is, I'm not going to use these lines too much. And I don't want to get too close. There's no reason to get, if you do end up using workers. That looks pretty reasonable. Again, this will just be a grass field anyway. What I'll do is probably follow the contour of the river a little bit. Get too close to it. And then when we get to a point we think we'll miss, I don't know, should I swoop in there a little bit extra? Or should I just leave that little, it's not much of a peninsula, but that little jut out into the river? Should I make that part of the field? Close. It's not like I can't decide on the second go around. I think I'm going to end up in the river on this path. In other words, do I take it out that way a little bit more? I think this is good enough. Yeah, it's just a hay field. Oh, look at that. Am I going to miss that? Yeah, I am going to miss it. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right? Look at that, cloud right up to the water line. So I think I'm just going to back up half a hair. Now what I'll do is, just because it doesn't take that long, let's switch back over to this one. And see, we don't want it over that far, so I'm going to page up. Oh, no. You know what? Here's the other thing. I want to get rid of those bushes. Let's bring it. I liked the old one where it had it real long. So let's mess up my corner too much. Not the prettiest corner anybody ever made. I like rounded corners. They're a little bit easier to deal with when you are using that windrower and all. So. Yeah, I have to remember, I'm going to come back and delete some of this field. So I do want to kind of get rid of a few extra bushes here than I would otherwise. This will, in other words, I'll clean up the edges of the field at some point. Make some headlands. All right, well, I think you guys get the idea. I think I'm just going to plow all of this, and then I'll come back when I'm ready to do some edge cleaning up. Oh, look, we missed at least one step. Figured that was going to happen. Alright, I'll see you guys in a while. And here we are. We have plowed that whole area over there, which will become our field. And if you notice, we even plowed some of the road. But I wanted to get rid of and also show you guys not to worry about plowing the road. It'll come right back. If I lower this guy down. Let me show you another thing. We're going to go to Control S, and as promised, we have our two courses. Now, if I just come back and hit back, I don't get a course. See, I don't have those orange dots. So if I come here and hit Control S, switch to this one, we get that one, but I don't want that one ultimately. I think I want the north and south. Doesn't matter. I'll switch back and forth as I need to. Then I come back in here and pick the first one, north-south, I'm sorry, east-west. Back. Now if I move forward, I have my dots. Now if I hit Alt-R, it'll shrink it down to a size that's you know, good for this one. I'm not going to bother to actually set the thing too much, but if you notice where I plowed the road, it comes back, so there's no emergency. When I first did this, I was a little panicked that I ruined the road. Not right now, but like months ago. Get that. So what I'll do is I'll use this when we get down around these trees. I'm just actually kind of driving down there. I told you guys I'd come back when I was. So this will get rid of pretty much all of the bushes. And make it look nice and neat. The grass should grow back. Go up and down. I had to go around that tree. This one. Let's lift this guy up. Now, notice this guy goes a little further than advertised. That's well, that couldn't have worked out too much better, huh? So let's get this guy right on line by going a little back. Put him down and obviously I want to run into that tree, so but at least we now have a good straight line. Probably could have even thought about that ahead of time. Want to run way forward. Let's go down again. And then we'll just be left with a little bit of that different grass underneath there. When the real grass grows back, we'll be in good shape. Don't get out. I got a little close to that tree with the plow, didn't I? That's all right. This guy back up. That's right, got another tree right here. Yeah, I didn't really plow between those trees. Again, go way forward, make sure we're on the right line. Doesn't matter that much unless you're really over 10 of disease. Look down there, we have a nice straight grass line. Let's take this straight on out. So once we get past this rock, for now that'll start where our farm is, so I'm not too worried about that being a field. I'll end up going back and forth there anyway. So what we could do is switch over our GPS. Keep it east to the north-south. I keep thinking of this map being the opposite way. If you notice when we switch, because that wasn't saved, Control R. Yeah, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yes. There we go. So this edge of the field is sort of defined for us. Back. All hard again. So that's not quite perfect, but that's right. I think we will end up coming back up one more time anyway. Even if I fix that, I think I'd still have some missing spots. So this will get me nice and close to the trees. This one. I think I'm going to just go past here. It'll still be grass. It just won't be part of the field, you know? Since for now it's a grass field anyway, that's fine. And in light of that, we just that little bit while we're at it. Give the field a little more character than just having a, looks like, just a spot right there. So now, just to make this one nice, Control S it. Row. So do like 2 rows. Just as a bit of a headland. And again, it'll be grass. we're going to get rid of some of these stumps I got in the field. But keep that pretty close to... We'll just sort of Alright, there we go, guys. We have a field. And since this has all been deleted, we can go ahead and plant whatever we want, which will be grass, but it'll be a different grass because this won't be part of the field. So I don't know if you guys have ever done that kind of thing before. But that's a little bit. Let's just make sure I got it all. I can't really see with these stupid trees. They are nice trees, but well, I think you guys get the idea. And we now have a field. It needs lime. It's going to need fertilizing. But it ultimately is a field. Nice. So we have a few bucks. Not enough to really do everything we want. We don't have enough to get a harvester. By the time we buy a spreader and a sprayer, and at least we got our tractors. I mean, this is one day on the farm, and we've got a little camp going here. Hardly call it a farm, but don't have anything in our barn because we sold it all. So we may end up having to go cut some more trees. But we'll think about that and talk about that in the next episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you have a good day, and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.